Happy day. My name is Pam Duty and I'm the CFO, Anytown University. I'd like to take this opportunity to share with you some thoughts and considerations that I, along with the Budget Committee, are recommending to the Governing Board, to the Executive Council, as well as to you, our faculty and staff and community, about how we can address the challenge we're having while ensuring that we continue programming of the highest degree here at Anytown. Houston, Anytown, we have a problem. You will notice that our enrollment is down, our costs are up, and we need a long-term solution. Take a look at what's been happening to our university enrollment over the past several years. Since the 99-2000 school year until most recently, you can see that we trended up for a little bit, primarily having a higher enrollment right in 9-10, right after the Great Recession of 2008, in which a number of our community members were laid off, and it provided an opportunity for those citizens to come into our university to retool themselves. And now our enrollment has tapered off. In fact, it's spiraling. Look at one college. This is just one college here in the university. Our overall daily count is down by 6.4%. Our evening count, which usually has some of our stronger numbers, is down by over 15%. And our overall head count, the number of students that we have in our hallways and in our classrooms, is down almost 6%. Folks, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out if we have less students, we're still maintaining, in fact, sometimes adding programming. It's a downward turn in our budget, and we have to do something to change it. I need your help. So the goal of this presentation is to ensure that we all have a basic understanding of the two main budgets that we have to operate our university: the maintenance and operation budget, or general fund, and our capital budget. And most importantly, I need to make certain that you understand how much we must collaborate and work with one another in order to ensure a greater investment in our university so we can continue the exceptional quality of programming and degrees that our community has grown to appreciate. Well, maintenance and operation. Maintenance and operation budget is one in which is funded with property tax, tuition and fees, and that the appropriations from federal and state governments, grants, contracts, and gifts. We also have a little pocket of money. They're buckets, right? We have a general fund bucket, we have an auxiliary revenue bucket, or an other revenue bucket, if you will. And those are ones that have self-supporting activities, so that if I want to do something, I can invest in that, doing that, and it's a zeroed out budget. Whatever I spend, I get back in return. Course fees, those course fees are things that we add, maybe a computer use fee or a online resource fee. And then our food services. And lastly, I want to ensure you understand we also have a contingency or a reserve fund. Some would say it's a university savings account. I want to share, the committee and I did consider 4 ideas or roads that we could have gone down in order to increase the investment in our university. We rejected each of these ideas, and we have scholarly research to support why we rejected them. For example, Umbrick, Fernandez, and Ortigas just last year suggested that perhaps we should do a performance funding. Performance funding meaning that we would pit colleges against colleges or departments against departments here at our university, and whoever had the greatest growth, whoever had the greatest achievement, whoever had the greatest accolades would receive a greater portion of the funding. I don't know about you, but pitting one another, each of us against one another in order to get a very special dollar does not seem to be a very collaborative approach, nor does it build the one university in Anytown that we've always prided ourselves in. So that idea was rejected. We also rejected WIM's idea from just last year that indicated we should perhaps increase our merit aid scholarships. Merit, as you know, we have merit scholarships and need-based scholarships. Need-based, I believe, is quite evident, but it's based on socioeconomic status. Those students who come to us from areas of greater socioeconomic deprivation are provided an opportunity to gain greater scholarship and are afforded then the opportunity to come to our school. Merit aid is based upon the quality of the student, meaning if they are brighter and they have greater means, regardless of their means, then they're able to come to our university. So, for example, if I were come from an affluent area and I have a greater academic precocity when I'm in high school, then when I come to the university, I will get the opportunity to attend on a merit scholarship, knowing full well that I also bring with me additional dollars that I can invest in the university that the university doesn't have to fund. We also considered a tuition increase. And given the fact that though our tuition is less than a lot of states, our students have been bearing the burden of quite a number of tuition increases over the last decade. It doesn't seem that in this time it would be prudent for us to ask parents and students to carry a greater burden. They're already carrying a significant burden, and I believe the committee and I have a suggestion in areas that we can increase our funding without putting it on the backs of our students. And lastly, given the current political climate and the challenges that are being faced with a state budget that is also struggling as well, it doesn't seem that it would be the correct time to take advantage of trying to work with the legislature to increase capital appropriations. As noted in a few years ago in a Ness and Tanberg article, legislative capital appropriations are very much driven by the political environment. And right now, it doesn't seem to be an area that we should tackle at this time. So what am I proposing that we can do? First, I believe that we need to partner greater with our community college district. Maricopa Community College, for example, or Pima Community College District down south have, in fact, some of the greatest community colleges in the nation. They are known for it, and they can provide our students an opportunity to get their freshman and sophomore, and many of their sophomore coursework, out of their way at a reduced cost for the student, while providing that student time and finances to recover and save those dollars so that they then can have a better ability to afford the finishing of their four-year degree at our university. In other words, spend $86 a credit hour at a community college, for example, take my freshman and most of my sophomore classes, and then have a direct transfer bridge program into Anytown University. I've saved a significant amount of money, almost $250 on average per credit hour. So that's $750 per course that I'm taking, but now I can save that money, or at least a great percentage of that money as a student, and invest that and save that for the last few years of my four-year degree at Anytown. Cost savings to the student, tremendous opportunity for students to be able to afford to continue to come to our university. It also provides an opportunity for us to have greater capacity in working with our partner schools in the community college, provides our own faculty and staff an opportunity to increase our residential faculty, maintain our residential faculty while not increasing our adjunct or contingent faculty, provides an opportunity of better use of our facilities as well. And speaking of our facilities, I believe we should also work with business area and create some partnerships that have a greater investment in our university. We know that our graduates are hired by many of the corporations here in our state. We believe it's time that we partner with those businesses and design curriculum specific to meet their employee needs. They, in turn, would invest in us by ensuring that they would guarantee a number of students per year per semester. This, I believe, is a strong opportunity for a win-win both for our business and corporations as well as for the university. And we all know that the economy grows stronger when our education system grows with greater number of graduates. Additionally, I believe that our university buildings should be open 7 days a week, as much as 24 hours a day if we can. We all know that on the weekends, there's a number of our facilities that sit idle without use. If we can open those up so that our facilities can be used by organizations, conventions, and other businesses that are looking for large spaces, we should be able to provide those. And while we're providing the space, we also should provide service contracts so that our students who are acquiring their degrees can get firsthand experience in how to be better food service employees, how to design better environments for workspace, for conventions, how to, in fact, capitalize on our faculty to be the presenter at many of these opportunities and trainings. It's an opportunity for us to be a better steward of our resources to the community. I also believe that we should provide an opportunity for those who have to name our facilities. I believe that by creating endowment opportunities for facility naming and putting year limits on them, 5, 10, 15 years, depending upon the amount of the investment that a individual, business, endowment, etc. would like to make, I believe that this provides us an opportunity to provide ongoing, long-lasting funds for our programming, as well as for the infrastructure of our buildings, which, as we know, need some help. We need to repair and update and maintain so that we have cutting-edge programs, yes, but we also need to have cutting-edge technology and facilities in order to deliver those programs. Facility naming rights might actually give us an opportunity for that. Additionally, I believe that our extracurricular programs or co-curricular programs, our clubs, our sororities, fraternities, and many of our athletic teams should be able to work to become self-sustaining. In other words, for example, let's assume that our fantastic going band wants to host a competition. The band should be able to then host that competition in our facility with entry fees, work the service areas for competitions, for the judging, for the facilitating of getting bands on and off the field, for example, and that our food service workers, our security staff, our maintenance staff should also be able to have opportunities to work those events, and the funds coming from those events go directly back into those programs. What's a capital budget? Well, the capital budget is the infrastructure, our buildings, our the stuff behind the walls, and those items that last, our desk, our facility, furniture, etc. Those items which last over several years come out of a budget called the capital budget. It is funded primarily by voter-approved bonds, and it also has any of surplus funds from our general fund in those years when we have greater prosperity and can ensure that we have money to set aside. What I'm proposing for increasing our budget in the capital investment is to ensure that we are very sensitive to our citizens by guaranteeing that we will not raise property tax by coming back to them for reauthorization of any bonds. What I'm saying is that as our secondary tax goes away on our property, because those bonds are expiring, that we take a small portion of what our citizens are already accustomed to paying. We take a very, very small portion of that, attach it to the primary tax levy, which is now allowed by state law here in Arizona, and that while we have overall, citizens have a significant overall reduction in their total property tax, we still benefit by having a very small amount of increase attached to that primary property tax, so that we can continue to reap some of the rewards of those bonds, thus giving us an opportunity to have capital improvement projects without having to go to our citizens for additional taxes. In summary, I believe we need to partner with our community colleges. We need to build curriculum design specifically for our businesses. We need to open our facilities on the weekends, provide ongoing hands-on training for our students here from the university, provide an opportunity for naming rights of our facilities, as well as to provide self-sufficient, sustaining programs for our extracurricular and co-curricular programs. Additionally, I believe we should support not having any having an overall reduction in the total property tax for our citizens, and I want to ensure that in these conservative budget estimates and proposals that we ensure that we continue with the contingency fund so that our citizens do not have to worry about our university not being sustained. And lastly, if you have any questions, be certain to send me an email. I'll get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. Thank you.